Me. My name's Chanel. Well, thank you. I sort of fished for that, I guess. I'm an editor of Variety. I'm so thrilled to be here tonight with Songs on Glue. I love this movie so much. Please join me in welcoming some of the artists who brought this beautiful, heartfelt film to life. I want to start by introducing actor Mustafa Shakir. Actor Belushi. We have actress Hudson. Actor Hugh Jackman. And director, writer, producer, who probably did the craft services. Please welcome Brewer. I'm mortified that did I forget someone? No? It's for Elijah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, good idea. If I have your permission.
I made too much.
Thank you so much for being here. Congratulations on a beautiful movie. This is primarily an audience of your SAG after actors. So I also go back to the beginning and ask, how did you get your SAG card? What was the job that brought that to you? And Craig, for you, I'd love to know, when was the first time you thought you could call yourself a director? Did you do short films or?
Party of Five.
It was Party of Five?
Party of Five. I got my SAG card, yeah.
Wow.
I played the girl that took Michael Gorgon away from that camp. Well, not really, but I attempted. And then, yeah.
For you, I think I might know the
X-Men.
Yeah, it was X-Men.
Yeah.
That air.
It's so obnoxious.
I know.
But it almost didn't happen. I'll tell a quick story, because as I was going in, I'd been given the part, but my papers weren't done, and I was going into Canada, and it was like Midnight Express. I'm sweating. It was terrible. I'm going in, and he goes, "So what are you doing here?" I said, "I'm auditioning." And he goes, "It's funny, because you've been here twice before in the last week. So what, this another audition?" I said, "No, I got the job. I just got my papers." And he goes, "Get in that room over there." And they took my phone away, and they said, I know at one point I went to make a phone call to the studio, and they said, "Give me your phone. You're one step away from being sent back." And I thought it was all over.
That was a Canadian?
And after about
Wow.
an hour and a half, the guy pulls me over and he said, "What's the deal?" And I said, "Well, I'm here doing a thing. It's called X-Men." He goes, "What?" I said, "X-Men." He goes, "What, like animation? Are you an animator?" I said, "No, they're doing a real life version of it." He goes, What are you playing in?" I said, "Wolverine." He goes, "You're Wolverine?" And I had a passport in 5 minutes later.
Canadian.
I'm Canadian.
You're Canadian.
I was gonna say, I imagine that poor man, like 2 years later, sitting in a movie theater somewhere and being like, "Oh my God, that's the guy I tried to keep out of the country."
But I owe my life to you.
Jim, for you?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
I was an extra in The Fury.
I love The Fury.
And I got fired.
Really?
Yeah, I was a pushy extra. There's a scene of me on the beach walking in front of Amy Irving, behind her, in front of her, and behind her. I made the second day, and De Palma saw the dailies. "Who is that guy? Get rid of him."
Wow.
So yeah, I got fired, but I got my card.
Fisher, for you?
I was in a horror film produced and co-written by these two brothers in Lake Tonawanda outside of Buffalo, New York. These brothers' names were Harvey and Bob Weinstein. And it was a horror film called The Burning. And, I got my fingers chopped off and ultimately slashed in the face. Thanks to Harvey and Bob, I got my SAG card.
Ella, for you?
I don't remember which film that it was. There was a film that I did called Touchback, which I actually talked to Kate about. Kurt Russell was in, very random. But I do know there was another one that was some strange journey of a kidnapping of a daughter, and I was the daughter's friend. It was really just a negligible role. I don't.
You were great in that.
Thank you so much. It's a cult classic.
Mustafa, for you?
A show called New York Undercover.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about agents or managers. I got it based on a referral from a theater job. So I didn't even know about a SAG card. I got the money and they were like, well, the lady was like, well, do you want to put your money towards SAG? I was like, what's that? She was like, oh, you have to join this union. I was like, pay you $1,800 for
That was a lot of money,
I was
man.
like, I was 18,
Yeah.
and she was like, "Well, let me run it down for you." And she gave me the skinny, and I was like, "Okay." Gave up my money, and I had to borrow $150 to go with it. But then when I got that residual check,
Yeah.
I was like, they give it right back. Nice, I like this.
I was like, how did she convince you? I thought maybe she offered you screeners or something. Craig, for you, what do you sort of consider your first job in this business?
I guess if I were to like say like what's the first job I got paid for, because I was making feature films in like Memphis, Tennessee on like, you know, digital cameras and doing films there. But really I have to say I just remember the day that John Singleton came to me and said, all right, if you want to be like in a guild and you want to get paid and you want to get like some health insurance, then we're gonna have like you need me to sign sign you into the DGA, and you need 2 other people. I'm gonna have Bondi, I'm gonna have Casey Lemons, and like I have like this really fantastic like 3 signatures, and so that was for Hustle and Flow.
That's amazing. And you were mad at him about X-Men? I mean, that's just as bad.
It was a special moment for me. Absolutely.
Well, since you invoked Hustle and Flow, I was telling Craig backstage that is one of the movies that actually captures the creative process. And now Song Sung Blue does the same thing. Because you always see those fake versions of like how people come up with songs, but really getting to see the process in this movie is so amazing. When did you first hear the story of Lightning and Thunder, and what made you see it as a narrative film?
Well, I saw the documentary in 2009, and I always try to say this, there's this whole world of films that go to like really obscure film festivals, and sometimes you'll make a film or you'll be in a film and then you go to the festival and there's like 5 people in the audience, and I was one of those 5 people in this audience because I love Neil Diamond, and out of all the films it said it's about a Neil Diamond tribute band. And then this story started to unfold with this couple, and I kind of became obsessed, and I got in touch with Greg Coase, who had made the documentary, and then for years, like really it was like this ever since 2009, and I had already made like 2 films. But it wasn't really until like Dolomite Is My Name that I thought, okay, I now I'm gonna try to make this movie, and you know, it was very hard. I mean, luckily I had 2 great producers, in John Davis and John Fox, and we went to everyone in Hollywood, and they all said no. That they even were very specific as to why no. They were like, no, it's like no one's gonna really like be that the audience would be way too depressed. And
The audience was not depressed.
and it won't be inspiring, so I really got to give it to Focus for, you know, they were the only ones that said
It's so joyous, but I can see like if you just read the breakdown of it, maybe you would be like, oh, that's dramatic. But the fact that you infuse it with so much joy and life, really, did you always see it that way?
Yeah, and I think that it got me angry, and by the way, it's since got me angry. I've been in a couple of meetings where a couple of studios are like, well, we had no idea, and I was like, well, yeah, but you said the same thing about the pimp rapping too, and maybe you should talk to the writer and the director and see what he wants to do with it instead of just kind of reading a log line. But I mean, I understand there's a lot of uncertainty in the world right now with like what to put, you know, put energy behind. But I knew that it was just something that I just felt that it was a movie that I hadn't seen in a while. That we used to have a lot of movies, and I'm a kid of the '80s, and so I know this sounds like maybe too silly, but like I know sometimes movies from the '80s are made fun of, but they were really working class films. I mean, like Purple Rain, Footloose, Flashdance. I mean, is there anything more dramatic than in Pretty in Pink than when, like, you know, Molly Ringwald is telling Andrew McCarthy, it's like, I don't want you to see where I live. You know what I mean? We used to have a lot of movies like that, and there just hasn't really been that in a while. And so when I saw the story, I was like, this is, I swear to God, I know how to do this.
Are you tired of proving people wrong? It must get old at some point.
No, it doesn't. You never stop having to fight for it.
I want to talk to the actors about how they came to these roles. Hugh, Mike is such a complicated figure because you're not playing only Mike in his daily life, but his stage persona, which is completely different. How did sort of the preparation for each role differ between, you know, Mike and Lightning? And I'm imagining you're shooting the same thing on certain days. How as an actor do you keep track of all that?
Well, Craig really helped, and you know, I think actors all know you have to sort of, in some ways, you have to map it out, and then you also have to be a little bit loose. But finding Lightning, I guess, was in a way the first way into Mike, because that was his dream. And it's something I guess I have in common with Mike. I love performing, he loves performing. I, in some ways, feel most at home on a stage like Mike did, and I've been lucky. I've had so many opportunities, and he was frustrated. Like, his big dream was just to be on stage, and it's all he. So I had that in common. I think that was the first way in. And then I did sort of a lot of work about his background and Nam and Vietnam and being a tunnel rat and addiction and how he came through it. And also, what was different for me is playing someone who had an awareness of a health condition. Like, he had a dodgy heart. He actually had many, many heart attacks. And so he was living with a ticking clock. Like, I had this huge dream, and I don't know how long I have. And he had no leg up, and he had to really grind. And so I think all those things really helped me get into him, and I just love him. I love this underdog spirit. I love the fact that nothing could deter him. I love the fact that he was just dreamed so huge, despite the evidence in front of him. And also the love story, I think, that came out of it. But yeah, Craig really helped me a lot. I loved working with Craig, and Craig included me before he'd even written the script. And I just got on the phone with Craig. He was telling me about the story, and I just knew. So yeah, he didn't have to commit to me, and I'm surprised. I'm really surprised.
Yeah, I am too, honestly.
That all the studios said no, because you've got that Piper ability.
Did you have I don't know if you guys know this, but he's not from here. Did you have like an existing affection for Neil Diamond? I don't know if you were.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, have we got any Aussies here? Any Aussies? Always, yeah.
Prove it. Throw a boomerang.
Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. There you go. It's easy. If you guys want a passport, that's all you have to do, by the way. Easy. In the 70s, so I'm born in 68, and Hot August Night, mid-70s, like, it was everywhere. And in fact, I've spent some time with Neil, and he confirmed for me that Australia is a huge place for him. And he toured there many, many times and sold out, we sold out everywhere, but somehow Australia had this huge affection for him. Even now, last week, someone sent me a video from the races in Sydney. There's 120,000 people, like age 18 through whatever, off their faces, polluted, singing Sweet Caroline, just non-stop, like 120,000 people. You know, he's beloved.
I love that. Kate, you are so fantastic as Claire. You're always great, but I love that you really get to do everything in this role. What did it mean to have something come to you where you got to show all your range, you get to sing?
Oh, it was like a dream, you know. Yeah, I mean, it's everything I ever studied to do, you know, sing. I didn't get to dance as much in a different way, but yeah, it was excellent, and I think it was wonderful. I mean, going on what you were saying, like, how did you get into Claire? I was thinking about when Hugh was saying, you know, all the things that got him into Mike. For me, it was my hair.
Yes.
It was like the second those hot rollers came out, I was like, it was like transformative for me. And then I remember Craig and I were really working on wardrobe, and that vest with the stars.
I love that vest.
And we were really trying to find, like, who is Claire, like, in this movie and what we're trying to do here. And that's when we put that outfit on, it was like, and I had the hot rollers and thing. All of a sudden I was like, oh my God! Like, all of a sudden, Claire popped off your page for me, and yeah, and it was so exciting. I got to do so many things that you long for as an actor. I mean, this is why we do it, you know. And very few times you get opportunities to actually have it all in one. So it was dreamy.
I was thinking for the two of you and for Mustafa as well, how much the hair and the costumes, especially, I mean, if you're playing someone named Sex Machine, putting on, that's why I assume you took the role. But you put on those outfits, like, that's gonna do some of the work for you.
Yeah, pretty much. It's a cheat code. Yeah.
I remember I directed this little short with my dad, Kurt, and he was late to set. And I'm sitting there with my dad is late to my set, right? And he was so into his wardrobe and the mustache and what he was creating. And I was like, that's what we do. Like, we have to bring these things to life. It's the funnest part of the job if you get given the gift of, like, actually being to delve into the things that we put and adorn ourselves with, how we identify with ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
It's so much, it gives you so much, you know. Yeah, it's the fun part.
Mustafa, I don't know if you know this or not, but like, that's what really got you the job. Like, well, no, I mean, like, you watch, you know, these days, like, self-taping is a big thing, you know, and we had a lot of people that were reading, and I don't know if you remember, but you had a whole get-up. You had, like, a head wrap, and you did this whole thing, and
Oh, yeah, that's
suddenly it was really distinctive. I don't know if you know this.
You know, I didn't, but now I kind of remember.
Yeah, I mean, it's that thing where suddenly you go, hey, who's the guy with that gorgeous head wrap? Like, that was so good in the audition, and then you came alive in this tape.
Do you remember recording that scene for your self-tape?
Yeah, I do now. Yeah. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. I had a bandana onto the front, and did some things. Yeah.
Was that an active choice, or just what you chose to do? That
It just felt like he was, something he would be doing. Like, originally he was in a garage. And so I thought of him in coveralls and, like, you know, he's going to put his hair up because he's got to protect his coif, you know? And, yeah, that's that.
So cool.
Yeah.
Jim and Fisher, I'm curious because you play like these. I know these guys. You know, I come from a town like this, and I recognize them immediately, and they're so endearing to me. Did you know? And Jim, I know we were talking about you'd seen the documentary, or you saw it after you
Yes.
saw the role.
Yes, I saw the documentary, yes.
So how did this role come to you?
Craig,
Yeah.
it just was Craig's idea. We worked together a long time ago.
So many times you will do a pilot that is great and goes nowhere. And I did one with Jim.
Oh, he's a rough guy to work with. I hate him. I hate his family.
Yeah. My children.
But quite a good director. He's really, Craig is, seriously, he's got the mind of a writer. He's got the heart of a director. But he really has the soul of a musician. Mm-hmm. And it's the music that brings the rhythm of the scenes together. So I'm a musician, Katie's a musician, and he speaks in musical tones, and so it's all music. It's not just Neil Diamond, it's within the scenes, and it comes from the soul of his musicianship. Hugh, the other hand, I don't get it. I mean, all the problems this guy's had in his life. I mean, guy can't act his way out of a paper bag. Because he's always using his hands. He's waiting for the blades to come out. That's a different movie, Hugh. Different movie. Stop doing this. But you know what's really great is the magic that happened between these two. Watching the film. I mean, you look in their eyes as an actor, and in the scene, what's really great is their focus is so intense that they take you into that world. And when you say cut, it's like, whoa, where was I? And Katie, when you look in her eyes when you're acting, there's a little smile. I mean, the eyes are everything with these two. And that's what really makes a movie shine, are the eyes. But there's a little twinkle, a little smile in the corner of her eye when she's looking at you in the scene. And it's saying, come on, Jim. Come on. Give it to me. Come on, you're so cute. Come on, give it to me. And it just makes you feel so good. And Hugh was like smiling at me. His eyes were smiling while I was talking. And it just brought the joy of the character out. And these guys bring magic with them.
Agreed.
And they give them to us. Because a lot of actors will take from you in a scene, but these two just give. And it's so wonderful to sit in that cloud.
I take it all back, everything I said.
You can't act your way out of a paper bag, but you know, this movie was really good.
I actually want to talk about that chemistry, but first I want to ask Fisher, were you familiar with this story? And when you heard about it, like...
No, I didn't know it, and I got a call to audition for Craig Brewer, and I hadn't auditioned on tape for a while, and I'm like, well,
You auditioned? You auditioned?
Yeah, because it's fucking Craig Brewer. And I was...
Oh, it's funny, I didn't audition.
Yeah. I know. I loved Hustle and Flow and Black Snake Moan and
I did audition for Hustle and Flow.
You did, yeah.
Yeah, but I couldn't sing. I couldn't do the rap.
Well, I did, and I was on a destination birthday holiday, in the middle of the tropics with a group of people, including Anton Corbijn, who directed Control, and Robin Tunney, the actress. And he directed my audition tape, and she played Hugh. And yeah.
Glad she wasn't on tape too. I might have
I
lost
know. She wanted to play Hugh's part badly and wrote no, but I love the documentary, and actually my sisters live in Chicago, and I go visit them and play basketball with this group of 90-year-old men, and one of them was in the documentary. He played the mayor. Yeah, he was the mayor of Milwaukee, and so I called him after I got the job, and he broke down Dave and Tom, because he knew them, and obviously knew Lightning and Thunder, and so it was kind of great that
So cool.
he gave me a little information, and I got, but I loved work. I would just say one thing also to add to what this guy said. When you're acting on a set that with people that are so talented and that care, and is captained by a guy like Craig. Like, I think we loved coming to work every day.
Oh, it was fun.
I mean, it was like a joy. And we've all had jobs where it's like, oh shit, I gotta work with this guy or whatever. But
Well, I had that with
yeah. But this was a beautiful experience coming to work every day, and I think we all really dug it. And it wasn't that we didn't have like the big trailers. We all had to go into Hugh's trailer, but
Huge trailer. Talk about Jim was living in it.
Jim was, yeah. But anyway, it was
Well, I had to keep it clean for him.
it was a beautiful experience, and yeah, I think we all just Craig creates this beautiful space for us to work in.
Yeah, that musical sensibility.
Yeah.
Music is spiritual. And there was a spirituality that ran through this movie, but also on the set, and all came from Mr. Memphis here.
I'm curious about that because obviously so much of the movie hinges on the chemistry between you two, and also this whole family and Ella. You really feel like you all have been through the worst together for all the good and bad that it entails. How did you build that relationship? Because it feels like you've known each other for years. And how cool is it that these are your parents?
Incredible parents. It's so funny because it felt really seamless, and that was all the credit goes to you two and Craig for creating that space and that environment for us to allow that to happen. But I remember I showed up at the screen test, and that was, the very first time that I met these two, and we started taking family photos, like right off the bat. But it was evident how much thought that each and every person in this film put into, who is this person that I am, what makes them burn for me, what are all of the weights that are stacked one on top of another on this young girl's shoulder, and how that affects these years of her life and that arc that she goes through, and transformation, honestly. So they just made it so easy, and I think it's clear everyone who talks, they're just so generous, and in every scene they're so giving, and it just makes it.
We're so proud of
I
you.
know, I was just gonna say, I have so much to say about you.
It's
So I just want to say this. Ella, you can see what a sophisticated, incredible performance you gave in this movie, and watching you was so wonderful. And you're such an intelligent actress, and then of course, we'd be sitting on set, and she'd be reading everything. Like, you're a voracious reader, and it comes out in your work. I'm just so excited for your career, and I love you so much.
I
And
have so much love for you.
You're
Oh
so
my
wonderful.
Gosh, do you even know what a once in a lifetime experience that was to be in these scenes, and it's kind of, a lot of you have touched on it, but you are transported.
Yeah.
It's like you come to after, and that is like such an adrenaline high that I think all of us can agree that we're constantly chasing. But the honesty, it was so, every millisecond, not one false. I was in Milwaukee. I was there, so.
I feel like
adore
this
you.
is a bunch of musical theater kids to some degree, and it's a musical.
What does that
Is there a
mean?
lot of singing on set? Were you?
Oh yeah, there was singing. There was. We haven't got Michael Imperioli here today, unfortunately. Incredible Michael,
Who's so
played.
great on the guitar. He's so perfect.
And King Princess is not here as well, and so there was so much music and real musicians and so much fun. And everyone hung out except for me because I was in my trailer, but everyone hung out together.
I was there too. I was keeping it clean.
And Ella, I don't know if you know this, but Craig did show me your audition, and I remember saying to you, "That's literally the best audition I've ever seen in my life." And I felt.
What about mine?
I didn't. I wasn't allowed. It was embargoed. But I actually, when you see an actor do an audition, you think, that is so, how on earth that's a 10 out of 10. How are you going to turn up on the day and be that good? Again, and
You were intimidated by her.
she was it was the greatest thing ever. And it was the scene, when she tells me we were pregnant, when we were doing the oil change by the car, which is you were so incredible in that scene, and we shot it on that day. And honestly, I remember after the first take, you were like, well, that could be done, but this is too much fun. Everything you do you are one of the most extraordinary actors I've ever worked with. The fact you are your age is just, for everyone in this room, so exciting to see what you're going to do.
No big deal, just one of my all-time inspirations. Can you say that one more time? I'll just we could put
Okay, you my turn now.
Luckily, I think people who might have phones in the audience will find it online. Before I go, I just want to ask if everyone can stay seated because, as you can imagine, they have more of these to get to. I want to remind everyone this movie comes out on Christmas Day, which I think is just such a wonderful, right? It is such such a lovely book. Please spread the word. It's such a special film. Thank you for being a great audience. Thank you all for being here.